And
Hold on to your goggles. It's time for the Epic Engagement Adventure.
hello. You've been waiting for this moment all week. I know you have. Because we've got someone amazing for you today, wearing a crown that she should be wearing. Miss Sang is in here to talk to us. Sang and I have been friends for years. We met many moons ago. Another coach, I think, united us in that group, and I've been taking life tips from this woman ever since. So I wanted to bring her on so that all of you could know the glory, the fabulousness of Sang. Sang, how are you doing today? What is going on?
Today I am doing fantastic. I am sitting in the parking lot little space of the library that has I had no idea it has a coffee shop inside of it. So I think that is the coolest thing. I never knew that about this place. So that's where I'm coming to you from today. And yes, people are probably staring at me with my crown, and I do not care.
That's right. Yeah, now y'all know why we're friends. Because there is no shame in our game. Like attracts like. So Sang, tell the world what you do.
Well, that's great. We were just talking about that prior to this. So it depends on the day. Right? Ultimately, I teach women, mostly single moms, how to live a ridiculously amazing life. And to be able to do that with simplicity and ease. There's so many things that are torn. Like women as women, period, we have this invisible workload, right? Like you can literally ask me something and a man, let's just use a man. A man can literally be sitting next to me, ask me a question and be like, hey, what time does this happen? It's like, dude, you're on your computer. Just look it up yourself. But it's like, well, what do we do as women? We just go look it up for them, right? Because we're just like, why are you just like this? But it's the same thing when you have kids, right? You're just doing this, you're doing that. You're trying to get all these things together. So that's, the invisible workload, so to speak. Our work really never ends. Like when people used to say, when I started working from home when I was a single mom, well, I'm still a single mom. And so they're like, oh, well, your life must be so easy because I work from home. Like, no, because when you work from home, like you want to wash the dishes, you want to do the laundry, you want someone else to clean the toilet. You know what I mean? Like all these things. So it just became, I just think tiny pleasures, little simple things that you can tweak to live whatever kind of life you want, less stress, no drama, just have fun and walk around with a crown all day. I don't do what you want.
Yeah. Life's too short to not be doing what you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, I have to ask because it's right in the title. How do you live your best life possible? Tell me.
Well, make things simple. Make things simple. When you learn how to become more of a responder than a reactor to life, things become much simpler. And it's such a interesting journey to go through and to go on. As you're learning how to respond rather than to react to things that happened, right? Like defensive driving. I'm trying to think of a perfect example. Defensive driving, you're learning to like pay attention to everything so you know what kind of move you're going to make, right? It's the same type of thing. Rather as if you're one of those people who drive and text and and then you look up and you're like, oh, and you have to do like that. That's a reacting moment. And then next thing you know, you're fishtailing and all this stuff and life's just out of control. That's literally the same thing, right? And it's about being in tune with your emotions to understand what you're going through, but also kind of being aware of what's going on with maybe somebody else. Because a lot of times we react to someone else's inability to be emotionally in check, so to speak. And so just being able to identify that and be so self-aware, it just makes life so much easier. And you just go, okay. And it's just one of those things that's the hugest piece, right? And it's such a huge piece because it's not about like going to get your favorite water bottle, right? Because this thing right here makes me drink more water than I've ever drank in my life. Okay. Or making sure that I have my favorite sunglasses or anything like that. Like, those are great things too. Like, don't get me wrong, but that emotional intelligence of being able to have that self-awareness is so huge that you can your whole entire life changes with you, the people around you, kids, whomever.
And so that difference between reacting and responding, one is rather instinctual.
Mhm.
You don't necessarily give yourself time to think about what's going on because you're trying to avoid something terrible. And
Right.
one recognizes that you don't have to react right away, that you do have a choice, it almost seems like.
Yes. And usually the best thing is, like, there's a few emotions that people gravitate towards. One is anger, right? What do we want to do when we get angry? We want to respond. We're like, oh yeah, this is what you said, like, all this stuff. Or you get an email that someone that said something that you don't like, and you automatically just just go, and do all this stuff. And next thing you know, you've said these things, but you were saying them out of anger, right? It's like, take a step back and be like, what is this feeling of anger? Like, what am I angry about? Am I angry because they didn't hear me? Am I angry because they didn't understand what I'm saying? And like if somebody, like older people, you say something and then you say it louder as if they're gonna comprehend it. It's kind of like that. And so you're really thinking about, like, what am I really angry about? And so when you're able to sit there and identify what you're angry about, and then really take a step back and say, how do I want to handle this from the clear space, the clear mental space where there's no anger, and just allow no one, the email's going to be there tomorrow when you wake up. It's not going anywhere, right? And nobody says, we live in such a society where it's like, you have to respond right now. You have to say this right now. You have to reply to me right now. Somebody sends you a text. They're like, you have to text people right away. Like, no, you do not. And if anybody I've learned that from was you when we did Own the No about 5-6 years ago. And now I just tell people, no, thank you. It's not in my pleasure wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Period. And that's it. Like, that's it. There's no more discussion. I don't have to give many reasons, anything like that. But also, it's just you get to sit back and go, what do I really want? What is really going to make me happy? Right? Is this how I want to live my life, full of anger every day? The answer is no. Like, not me. I don't think anybody else wants to, but I definitely do not. So yeah.
Yeah, what Sang was referring to there is about before I did bots, I did kind of technology coaching and some other mindset type stuff, and it was like a 24-hour challenge. Own the No was 24 hours. No matter what anyone asks you, say no.
Say no.
And own it. And Own the No became our little hashtag. It was just and people still, I mean, you were telling me a couple weeks ago, people still refer to it. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, she sends it. It's great. And because even then it was, you don't have, we don't want to say no because we don't want to hurt someone's feelings. We feel like we're obligated, all these different things, but society tells us that, and all these things. And if anything you should know about me, I like to defy societal norms to no end. Like, I'm a rule follower, so to speak, but also defying the norm is a little bit different.
Yeah.
I'm still going to stop at the stop sign, but I might paint it pink.
Right. It might just get a little facelift.
Add a little glitter in there because you can see it better.
That's right. This is the answer to some traffic problems. Yeah. Well, and I'm a rule follower to an extent, but only because you should know the rules before you start breaking them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because the rule following is really just it's a front. It's going away soon usually. I just like that about you so much. Well, and gosh, we were talking about some of the things you have kind of going on. Do you want to tell folks about what's maybe coming up this summer? Maybe.
Yeah, there's so many things. It's funny because when I think about it and I go back and you ask me what do I do, and I told you it depends on the day.
Yeah.
But there's also so many other things that I do, right? I also am a life and business and career coach, right? Nobody even knows some of the things that I do, and they're just always amazed. I've been a certified resume writer for like 10 years, right? I also stopped using social media a couple years ago when I technically didn't give up the crown. I was done with my reign as Ms. USA Universal. And so, and I had to be on social media because of the contract. And so I got off of social media, and then because I didn't even use social media then to run my business. It was always 99, I say 99.9%, because the one person that came from social media, which was Pinterest, was some weird thing that she came and looked at me, and then she saw something I wrote about Michael Jordan. Like, it was weird. But we did so much business together. But no, so I teach all those things, and that's why I said it just depends on the day. But I do love teaching businesses how to market their business without social media. It is totally doable, totally possible. You can run 6, 7, a million, thousand figures, right? Without social media. It can be done. The other piece is this summer I'm working on. It should be in the next week or so. It's called the Summer of Pleasure program. It's just, it's going to be a summer of pleasure. And I know people are like, what is pleasure? Well, you know what? You get to define it. You get to define what pleasure is for you. My pleasure comes in the form of sparkly things.
Many sparkly things, everybody.
Right.
So
Many
much
sparkly.
sparkle.
Comes in the form of donuts. Right? Like, it comes in the form of music. It comes like every day. We never wake up with the same attitude. We never wake up with the same, our body's not feeling the same every day. One day we want to stay in the bed. One day we want to listen to some kid rock music or something like that. Or someday we want to listen to George Strait. I don't know. Then we want to get our Beyonce on. So then, you never know what anybody wants, what you want to do. So, but you get to do that, and you get to own that. And what's great is you're going to be surrounded by women who are doing the same thing, and they're going to be sharing. And what happens when you get a group of people together and they start sharing? They get excited.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're going to have more energy, and you're going to be more motivated, and you're going to be like inclined to have more experiences. You're going to want to go explore your own pleasure wheelhouse, right? Because it's about no. What is that saying? This meeting could have been an email, right?
Yeah.
No more attending meetings that can be emails. Just say no, thank you. Right? Just shoot me an email. Let me know, right? So it's all about just saying yes to you, and saying yes to what makes you happy, and doing that. And you're going to be surrounded by so many women who are doing the same thing. And it's like, when you're around people who are doing the same thing, and everybody's like, oh, okay, I want to try that. Okay, I want to lay, and now we're going to get into the super pleasure. Like, yeah, lay there and like rub me with a feather, right? Like, rub my neck with a feather, right? I don't, go get me this so I can drink my hot tea out of it. Like, nobody says you have to drink just water out of it, right? Go drink hot tea. Do what you want. And so it's going to be so amazing. And I'm going to have 2 special coaches that are going to come on and talk about, one's going to talk about having your own back. And it's such a life-changing program that I did with her. And so just so many things. There's so many things I could probably just go on the rest of the night, but we don't have that kind of time. And I got to drink more water. So,
well, right. Clearly.
I mean? So there's so many things going on. But yeah, it's a summer of pleasure.
I'm pretty fascinated with it because, that's one of the things that we don't talk about as business owners, is the invisible workload and the amount of things that we do. And the fact that, we live in a society that says pleasure, happiness needs to be deferred. You need to work really hard, get into good school, work really hard there, get a job, work really hard there, raise some kids, and then at 65, you can retire and have some fun. Holy moly. You know what I mean? Like, A, I'm doing none of those things in order. B, I don't see the sense in waiting and the real, the real way. Yes, I would like to go and hang out on a beach with my wife right now. No, neither one of us can just pick up and take off for a week. That's just not reasonable. But what are the simple things that I can have
like
today right
it could,
now?
right, and it's literally could be as simple as maybe some lotion that you try, maybe it's a new tea that you do, it's a new anything. It could be new lace panties. Like, I mean, I'm very dramatic when I share stories because it's the only way people actually pay attention. Right? Because they're gonna be like, that's the lady that talked about lace panties. Like, yes,
Yeah.
that's her. You know, and so you brought up something really good because I had a little minor back surgery a couple weeks ago, and I've had two movies on repeat. One was Eat, Pray, Love, because I just think it's great, and then The Hangover because it got me through one of the super dark times in my life when it first came out. And so there's a part in Eat, Pray, Love where they're in the barbershop, right? And Julia Roberts is talking about they're talking about work, 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 and they're like, you Americans, right? All you do is work. And then you think that you have to get permission, basically, or something like that, to have fun and to have pleasure. And over here, we're just like, you want to go take a nap? Go take a nap,
Yeah.
right? It's the same thing here. It's the same thing I do, right? And so if you ever go, it's on Netflix right now, so you can go watch it. Netflix should be paying me for this now, right? But like Netflix, it's on Netflix. Eat, Pray, Love. It's literally the part like right before she goes to the to the meditation place. I can't think of it, but they're in the barber shop, and they're talking about pleasure and how we just work and work and work, and we think that we have to earn it. And then he said something like, oh, and then you get this beer and you drink it on a Friday night, and then you're all messed up for 2 days, right? And then you got to go back to work, and you think you have to just work, 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 and that's it. And so it's if I told you guys how old I was, right, and that I live out of my suitcase and I kind of do what I want, and my kids are grown people, you know, my kids look at me and they go, oh, we can't wait to be like you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's great. So
Well,
yeah,
it is, and it's more about, much more about this moment than it is about some previously allotted time that has been set aside. I mean, we might not live that long. I want to enjoy, having my business and doing my thing. And it was actually just this morning that, one of my pleasures is being creative, making videos, doing little things, just devising things that will entertain my clients and others. I love it. And it makes me so happy that it gives me huge energy for the rest of the day.
yeah, because the thing is, you're at the end of the day, do you say, man, I mean, at the end of your life, are you going to say, oh my gosh, I wish I had sent more emails. I wish I had spent more time on social media. I really wish I had worked more hours and not spent any time with my family. Like, who's going to say that? Right? Like, no, I don't want to say that. Like, no. Here's the thing, and this is part of what I teach too. Like in terms of like marketing, and this is your time, right? Time has always been something that's been very precious to me. I lost my mom when I was 27, and so I feel like I lost all this time with my mom, right? And so the average person spends I don't know 147 minutes on social media a day, right? And I mean, I like to make jokes because I am Asian, but I'm not good at math. Okay, so like, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know, 147 minutes a day is like, I don't know, I think it comes out to like 29 29 days a year, something like that, right? And if I said, RJ, you get 29 days back in your life, I'm pretty sure you're not going to tell me you're going to go send more emails.
Yeah, no.
You know
Oh,
what I mean? Like, you're not going to say,
oh,
oh, you know what? I think I'm going to go clean the toilets a little longer than last time. Like, no, nobody's saying that. Right?
no.
And it's okay, because here's the thing, that toilet's not going to be dirty tomorrow. you know? So when you think about that, and then you do that over the longevity of your time, and just think about people being on social media is just only increasing right now. Right? And here's the thing, if you're around 40 years old, that's at this point 4 years. 4 years. 4 years you have probably spent on social media at this point.
Yeah.
Right? And if I said, hey, you know what? I'll be like Oprah. You get another 4 years, you get another 4 years, you get another 4 years, right? And it just comes down to being conscious of your time, but knowing the time that you're spending on social media, are you really making the most, or what's your ROI? Like,
Oh
when you
God.
break it down, I mean, there's so many things. Again, I don't do math, so I have to do something else. But but when you think about all of it and it all comes together, I would rather say I'm gonna go spend an extra 2 days with my son, or go spend an extra time with my daughter, or something like that. Go spend extra time with my friends, and I get to do that, and that's going to make me happier, which also is going to make me more productive.
Yep.
And I'm going to be more focused when it's time to sit here and have a conversation, or I'm working on a program, or I'm doing my coaching, or I'm doing any of those things. It just it brings me, and we're also much happier.
Yeah, it's
So happy.
true. Just
Yeah.
happier, and there's no energy drop. Do you know what I mean? There's no I've been in 8 meetings today, I'm about to go brain dead. You don't have to live that way. And
Right.
so this concept of, the pleasure summer, did you say it was
Summer of pleasure. The summer of
Okay.
pleasure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a great thing to teach people how to do, because we are way carrying carrying way beyond what we should be carrying, and we're putting
Yes.
off our
Yeah.
own peace.
Like, stop saying yes to shit that bores you. Right? You get invited to a party. You don't want to go? No, thank you.
No, thank you.
It's not in my pleasure wheelhouse. Like, carry on. And it's so fascinating, because when I say that to people, they're like, oh my God, that's the cutest thing. I was like, yeah, you should try it. It works.
Totally
It totally works. And you're not mad about it, because you're not mad because you're so cute. Right? And now you get to use it on somebody else.
Yeah.
And so I've actually challenged people. I think on my LinkedIn, I said that to someone one day, and she's like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I was like, yes, use it. And let me know, report back. Right? Like, let me know how it goes. Oh, this is what happens when you're in the parking lot.
Oh, no worries, darling. We got you covered. No, and the ability to just, what was that? There's was it the secret joy of not giving a bleep?
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
I mean, I love that. Sarah Knight wrote that book, and it just really, it's a hilarious book, by the way.
Yes.
Go get it. But yeah, the being able to say, I really, really care about these things, and I'm supposed to care about a mountain of other things, but I don't, and I'm just gonna say it. And it's going to be okay, saying no to things, and welcoming in what brightens our life. You don't have to deserve happiness.
You don't even have to deserve to say you need a nap. If your body tells you need a nap, go take a nap.
Go get one.
Like, that's it. Like,
my dog and I call them siestas.
You know what? Call it what you want. It could be your pleasure nap.
Yeah. I just walk out of my office and I say, Ranger, it's time for a siesta. And he's like, oh, okay. And
Let's
just runs
go.
to the bedroom. I don't get
Right.
any judgment from Ranger. That's one of the reasons I love him so much. But yeah, uh, you know, the bottom line is, of course, we're going to be judged by others. We're going to be judged every day, 24/7, whether we like it or not. We're going to be judged by people we know, people we don't know, people we don't care for.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, when I was finally able to say, I do not care about impressing someone I do not care for, life
Yeah.
just sort of opened up.
Look, and I'm going to tell you, this is a tiny pleasure of mine, is that I really enjoy hearing the stories that people make up about me. Right? It's much more fun to hear what they've come up with, right? Than to participate in it. And I just go, wow, that's what you think my life is like. And I just think it's cute. Like, but I just embrace it. Like, I embrace what it is. And I'm like, because you can think whatever you want to. Because unless you sit down with me and ask me, you have no idea. You're literally just making up whatever you want to see. And everybody does it. We all do it. We've all done it to some degree, right?
Yeah.
But, it's so funny. I like that part. I always tell people, I always love to hear what other people have to say about me first.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, for example, as a matter of fact, I had a meeting like 4 days after I had back surgery. And apparently this lady was upset that I wasn't like, first of all, I was uncomfortable. I didn't disclose in the meeting that I had just had back surgery. And apparently she was upset that I wasn't giving my undivided attention, my full attention. And I just wasn't paying attention, she said. And I was like, okay. And I wasn't mad about it. I was like, okay, she didn't know, and it's fine. I'm not mad at her about it. I'm not making her wrong about it. It just is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so many life lessons I've learned from this particular individual. How would you love for people to contact you?
So funny. I have this amazing friend, RJ, whom I attended this thing. I attend all of her things. And I go, you know what? That is the simplest way to have people connect with you. So I went and did a thing yesterday. So you can hit meetsang.com.
Whoa! I'm throwing that in the notes.
I literally, I think that's probably one of my ahas I had yesterday, but I was like, yo, that's so simple. And of course, not many people have. I say this with all the love because I don't run into a bunch of Asians with my name.
Yeah.
And so I always tell people, have you ever met a Sang before? And they're usually like, no. And I go, great, I am it. And even if you met one after me, it does not matter because they're not going to be as good as me and they're not as memorable. That's it. And it's probably a dude because it's a dude's name. So there's that. But yeah, meetsang.com. I'm like so stoked over that though. Like it literally, I freaking giggled for like 30 minutes after I did it. And I was like, oh, this is so cute.
Well, yeah, I mean, I did that, how many years ago? MeetRJ.com. I did that, and my Zoom link is Zoom with RJ, and like people are always like, how do you make that work? I'm like,
yeah, like I've done it all the time. Like, and so eventually, just so you know, the summer of pleasure is what it's going to be for the summer, right? So, but yeah, so if somebody wants to chat, I'm totally doing complimentary chats. Just that, if you want to just pick my brain for 60 minutes, that's it. You only get 60 minutes. So come with your questions. You want to talk, you want to chat, you want to figure out some little things that's going on. Totally, I'm down. Let's do it. And yeah, the summerofpleasure.com is going to be live in a couple of weeks. So just be looking for that. And yeah, I'm totally excited about the summer of pleasure. It's going to be so exciting. I was asking a friend today, just to put a little drop out there. There may be a yacht or a boat involved.
oh,
With the
well
summer of
then,
pleasure. Just saying.
I suppose.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Gosh. Hold on. I'm trying to get it to roll across the bottom, but I think I've forgotten how to make that happen. Unfortunately.
Well, it's
Um,
okay.
yeah. Well, meetsang.com is certainly the first one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's really driving me crazy. There it is. All right. There we
Look
go.
at that.
Woo!
Welcome to your
Technology.
happy dance.
Um, well, I mean, it's always an eye opener to talk to you, Sang. By the way, Sang is one of the people that taught me you need to show up as your true self every single time. There is no use in trying to be that person that everybody should like. There is no reason to dumb your message down so that other people will feel comfortable. There is no need to do any of that because you're really just you're putting something in the way of your own success if you do that. And so, on behalf of everybody I know that has benefited from me knowing that, thank you. On behalf of me, thank you. Do you have any final words of ultimate wisdom you would like to give to the audience?
Ultimate wisdom. One I think is to just like one of those things where you're exactly where you're supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
And you don't know what you don't know, right? And it's okay to change your mind, right? Like you're not stuck with doing like if you say yes and you really want to say no, you can still go back and say no. I just want to say that, right? Just get up every day and ask yourself, what do I need from me? Right? And not even necessarily need, because right, we got food, water, all those things. What do I want for me today? What do I want to feel today? Right? And if you ask yourself, you wake up in the morning and you ask yourself, what do I want to feel today? And then seek that feeling out all day.
Yeah.
Like seek it out. Nobody wakes up, I promise you, and if you do, you should probably go to meetsang.com. If you wake up and say, I just want to be angry all day, we need to talk. Okay? Just
There
hit me
needs to
up.
be a conversation.
You know what I mean? But like, I want to feel happy. I want to feel joy. I want to feel alive, right? Do the things that bring you that feeling,
Yeah.
right? And I say
Yeah.
that it sounds, and people are like, oh my gosh, that's so hard. It's really simple. It's as simple as this. It's as simple as this. It's as simple as my donut that I'm going to eat as soon as we're done. Like, it's so simple. Like, so simple. We do not have to make it difficult. Just be you, be happy, and love yourself. There's only one of you. You only get one life. Just one.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I want to thank you for coming on. This has been a joy. Let me know when Summer of Pleasure opens so that I can give the link out to people so they can kind of rediscover what gives them joy. I would be happy to promote that. More of us absolutely need it. And for all of y'all listening out there, we'll be back same bot time, same bot channel. And yeah, come on to LinkedIn, connect with me, sign up for some of my events. We're gonna have a rocking time this month, as we do every month. And
absolutely every month.
that is right. Leave no month behind, darlings.
That's right.
There you go. And I'm just going to play our little outro music. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.